You're watching the Carolinas News Channel. And now, News Channel 15 at 6 with Dave Gilbert, Allyson Floyd, meteorologist Ed Piotrowski, and Terry Gurn with sports.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us for News Channel 15 at 6. I'm Allyson Floyd.
And I'm Dave Gilbert. We begin tonight with gunfire erupting at night at one local beach community. Atlantic Beach may be one of the smallest communities on the Grand Strand, but it's also one of the poorest and most crime-ridden. Now folks there are saying gunfire is happening at night. A meeting is underway at this very hour over that situation, and our Ned Barker is standing by live, joining us with the very latest on this. Ned.
Dave, I'm at the Atlantic Beach Town Hall, where a specially called meeting is just about to begin. Residents are showing up here now, and the meeting is just getting underway. Folks should have a lot to say on this issue. Just a couple of weeks ago, people in Atlantic Beach were ringing in the new year, and it happened to be that they rang in the new year with gunfire. In fact, the son of a council member was injured on New Year's Eve. Now, it may be 1997, but folks say late at night, if you come up here, it seems more like a bygone era.
How about it, Ringo?
The Wild Wild West. It may be the stuff of Hollywood legend, but it's hitting close to home in Atlantic Beach. Movie audiences may enjoy the sights and sounds of frequent gunfire, but similar sounds are happening on these streets, and residents here don't find it the least bit entertaining.
Sometimes I be in my apartment, which is the corner apartment back there, and I'm ducking, laying low in the apartment thinking, stray bullet might go anywhere.
30th Avenue South is where most of the late-night gunfire is happening. It's a street filled with graffiti and closed-up buildings. John Skeeters operates a convenience store nearby. He says the beach community needs to stamp out the problem.
If you hear gunfire, especially if you're outside your home or wherever, you don't know where the bullet is going.
I think the town council has a responsibility to have enough police on the force. I think the police that we do have are doing a marvelous job. I think the town council has a responsibility to hire enough police officers to ensure that we have adequate protection. I certainly would say that.
Atlantic Beach currently has a three-man police force. Now, they've recently received, or they've recently been awarded, $600,000 in federal grant money. So far, they've only hired one police officer, and I think if you talk to residents in this community, they would probably be saying, hey, let's get moving, let's move forward on this issue. There may also be some talk tonight about a community crime watch. We have one crime watch local community group here in Atlantic Beach, but there may be talk tonight about starting up another one. Dave, Allyson?
All right, thank you very much. And of course, we'll be following the story and update you tonight at 11 on the Night Beat. Thank you, Ned.
The search for 4 escapees from the Darlington County Detention Center has now turned to Marion County. SLED agents, along with bloodhounds, are trying to track the trail of the escapees. All 4 of the men broke out from the jail in Darlington County early yesterday morning. The suspects were last sighted in Marion County. Authorities are searching for 25-year-old Keith Beasley, 36-year-old Michael McKeever, 26-year-old Leonard Mungo, and 21-year-old Richard DeMont Robinson.
An elderly store clerk is recovering tonight, that after being shot in a robbery attempt. Paul Clark was closing up and leaving his Wheeler Street liquor store just after 7 last night. That's when an armed man surprised him and demanded money.
He didn't have any money at the time. He shot him. When he shot him, I think Mr. Clark had a small caliber handgun in his pocket. He returned fire after he was running, I think. And he made it back in the store and called the police department.
The 73-year-old was shot in the stomach. He underwent surgery and is in guarded condition tonight. Police are conducting interviews, but they have not filed any charges so far. Another hotel robbery in Myrtle Beach to report to you tonight. A search is now underway for the armed robber. Police telling News Channel 15 an armed man walked into the Boardwalk Motel on North Ocean Boulevard last night just after 9. He pulled a gun on the motel employee and made off with an undetermined amount of money. He then took off running northbound.
Well, yet another robbery to report. This time the victim was a cab driver. Horry County Police quickly made the arrest in this case. 25-year-old Stephen Keller III is facing armed robbery charges for that crime. Keller pulled what the cab driver thought was a gun and then he took off. He was captured a short time later. Well, in the past 2 weeks, we've reported on several armed robbery attempts at convenience stores. 2 of those included shootings and 1 resulted in a fatality. News Channel 15's Brent Campbell joins us with more on what store clerks can do to stay safe. Brent, what can they do?
Well, Allison, the stores that I visited today say that safety has always been an issue in the convenience store industry, but they say there are many ways, especially in the wake of new technology, that make robbing a convenience store harder than you may think, and these stores are taking advantage of it.
As a whole, has done everything they can to safeguard the employees in the stores. Not just food chiefs, but all convenience store industry.
Officials in the convenience store business say as things modernize over time, so must the stores for the sake of safety.
A modern convenience store is pretty safe. It's probably one of the safest places to shop in the country. All the windows are open. All throughout the store is well lighted, outside, inside.
There are many things out there for today's stores to use when protecting themselves. Cameras and monitors, time-lock safes, and even panic buttons for the employees to wear on their uniforms.
With technology, something new's coming along every day to try to safeguard this with our panic buttons, with our surveillance systems. Everything's coming through to try to safeguard our employees.
There are kits that can also be bought which contain warning decals for the doors, even a height strip to help employees get the height of a would-be robber as he leaves. But all of this stuff takes money, and many small stores can't afford these high-tech safety devices. Customers say they take that into consideration when they go shopping.
They're not safe, they're not equipped. Cops wouldn't know, all they have is a phone. And if somebody's holding you at gunpoint, you can't say, excuse me, and pick up the phone and call 911.
But store owners say there are other options for the smaller budget stores.
Keeping cash down in the drawer, as making sure your windows are clear, your lot's well lighted at night. All these things are factors that can prevent a robbery.
Stickers like this one are one of the new ways that store managers are using to keep their employees reminded to be alert. That's because these stickers are put in places where their employees may not always be thinking about safety. No matter what precautions stores do have, customers say they are still scared because it can happen anywhere.
Easy access to in and out and around it well lit, and just make their employees aware of what's going on, because it's scary. It's scary to know that you could be in a place and anything like that could happen at any time.
Now, one of the biggest points that police make regarding your safety in a convenience store, they say don't try to be a hero. If you see something happening while you're in the store, then let it happen. Police say the best bet in staying safe is to let the robber get in and get out. Allison?
All right, thanks a lot, Brent. Well, a team of people who raise exotic animals in Tennessee made a trip to Marion County today. They want to help the animals left at Jimmy Carter's former petting zoo. Tiger Haven, an exotic animal refuge in Tennessee, sent 2 people here with nearly 400 pounds of food. They've already have more than 40 exotic cats on their property, but they're willing to take all of Jimmy Carter's remaining animals.
We take in lions, tigers, cougars, other cats that would otherwise be put to sleep or end up at a game ranch where people pay a couple $1,000s to shoot them.
Carter will not commit to having the animals moved, but he is considering Tiger Haven as a possible new home for all of the cats.
We're mostly concerned is the well-being of the cats, and she will tell you that there's a great possibility if the cats go the wrong way that they'll be killed.
The Marion Humane Society has agreed to help Carter find a home for the cats, but Carter has not signed any agreements with the society. Meanwhile, federal investigators are expected in Marion again later this week, and a federal hearing is scheduled for early February. Well, 2 fundraisers are already planned for the animals at Jimmy Carter's. Gator Radio out of Myrtle Beach and Darlington will have personality Marv Clark dressed in a pink tutu broadcasting the morning show live from Safeway at 5 Points in Florence. Now, he's dressing in that tutu to fill a bet on the Panthers-Packers game, but the station will also want to raise money for Carter's animals. And the Hard Rock Cafe will have a booth at the Wildlife Expo at the Myrtle Beach Convention Center this weekend. They'll raffle off Hard Rock Cafe merchandise for donations, and that expo runs from Friday through Sunday. We will be there.
That's right.
We're
going to be there
live Friday.
That's right. You're going to be broadcasting live from there, and hopefully they'll raise some money for those animals. Badly needed. And there's plenty more straight ahead right here on News Channel 15 at 6.
That's right. Milk may do a body good, but do you really need it to get your calcium? That story is coming up next, so stay with us.